Hello, friends. This is Melody Self, and I am coming to you on Live with Tuesdays. I go live every Tuesday about this time on Tuesday afternoons. So I am excited. I decided to go ahead and I'm simul broadcasting in some different places. If you would like to, I would love for you to follow me on YouTube as well. If you will go and like and follow, and you can catch me there too. So I entitled this For Things to Change, I Have to Change. For Things to Get Better, I Have to Get Better. And I know that we've heard of that. We've heard that if we want things, if we keep doing the same thing over and over and over, and we expect a new result, that is insanity, that's the definition of insanity. But so many times we think, well, we'll do it again this time, we'll try again. And what happens is we end up feeling discouraged. We end up not getting the result that we want because, again, it didn't work. Again, we got the same result as we did previously. And so change is hard. Why do we resist it? Because we don't know it, because it comes with some pain, it comes with unknown, it comes with fear, it comes with what will they think, what will actually happen. We don't know, but what we do know is that by doing things the old way, we know the result that we're going to get because we've already gotten it. So even if it's a painful result, it's a comfort zone. And a comfort zone is a place that not very much growth can happen. It's not. We planted a garden yesterday, a fall garden, and of course, what we have to do. We have to till the ground. We prepared the soil, like get the weeds out, and water it. We do all these things, and we see nothing. We can't see anything today. We can run out there, and we know that we're not going to see anything. We hope that we will. And so sometimes when we change things, it's like that. We want an immediate result. We want it to change quickly, but we look over there and we don't see any difference. We see that we tried doing something different, but it just didn't work. So we go back to the old way of doing things. And of course, we end up in our old patterns. And so it's a very courageous act to do things differently and to do things with a new vigor and a new purpose. And it sometimes when we do things differently, we get into these thoughts, these things come into our head, and people will say, what do you think you're doing? Who do you think you are? Or so it causes us to doubt ourselves. It causes us to think, well, maybe we shouldn't be doing that. Maybe so then our lack of confidence comes up, or we start grieving what we wish could happen or what we hoped to happen. And so these things, these emotions, and then before we know it, we get discouraged and we go back to our old way of things. And then we feel guilty again because now we're eating the food that we didn't say we would ever eat. We're not exercising, we're thinking bad thoughts. And so we go in a spiral and we just end up downhill. And so it takes some courageous action to stay committed to ourselves and to stay in the pain and the cost of that change. So there's a cost of staying where we are, but there's also a cost to getting that new thing. And sometimes the cost of staying where we are is just not bad enough. So we'll stay there. We'll put up with whatever that is, whatever it is. And when we really understand our vision, I believe that it pulls us forward. I believe that it will take us to a new destination. It will take us to places that we haven't been before, because we'll see that the cost and the pain of the discomfort is worth it for what we're going to get in the end. You know, I'm the mama to 7, and the influence, I know that if I feel like, God has given me a vision, and if I don't step into it and I don't, if I don't follow through with it, the pain of me not having it, it doesn't just affect me, it affects my children and every single life that they touch. Every single person that they come in contact with, that's thousands of people potentially, just with me and my own children, and all the lives that they touch and impact. And one little simple thing, for my own sake, I do this. I go to church on Sundays, And when I'm there, I I take, I don't, sometimes I don't, I take pictures, almost, I mean, almost pretty much every time, like a selfie of just me, just for me to document. I don't post these things. I do it for me to remind myself why I'm at church. I do it for myself to remember that when I don't feel like getting up, when I feel like maybe even the church or whatever that had disappointed me and wasn't there whenever in my time of need, I just knew that the right thing for me to do was to get into a place of worship. That this was our spiritual practice. This is what we would choose as a family. And since I'm a single mom and I have 5 sons, I wanted them to hear a father figure. I wanted them to hear another person speak into them. And so the cost of me getting there. And so I'll do that for my own self because I knew that it was important for us as a family to hear and to be spoken into. And so it wasn't it wasn't comfortable. It was sometimes a cost. There was a time when my teen son was going through stage 4 cancer that my oldest daughter would walk with them to church because she would take him to church that way. I couldn't take my son; he was feeling so poorly, and so we needed a day in to rest with him. And she would take them. So she carried that mantle of doing that. And so sometimes the cost of what we're getting is not going to always be the way that we think in our mind or that we hope that it could be. That doesn't mean in the end that it's not worth it because of the lives that are affected in the future and the ways that our own state of being and our own happiness is greater just by knowing the satisfaction of the pain of doing what you know is going to the God vision that is inside of you. The pain of doing that is way less than I wish I would have, I could have, I should have, all those feelings of regret. Most people, when they're in their end dying, they have regrets. And so we want to live in a way that today we don't have tomorrow promised. We don't know what can happen. We want to live today with purpose and with energy and with vigor. And so when we're doing that, it's going to give ourselves greater life satisfaction, and it's going to help us to elevate the way that we live today and the meaning of our life today. And so when we cast ourselves that vision and we keep it before us, it's going to help us to be able to do that thing with much more grace and ease. And so if you are loving, if this resonates with you, let me know in the comments, and I would love to hear from you. I am so I'm just so inspired to to keep on going even whenever it feels dis just sometimes so hard and we don't see the fruit of it. But in the end, it's like I'm in some groups because I have three teens living in the house, and I'm in some groups of parents with teens, and they get so discouraged with right here where they are and where they're seeing. And sometimes our vision right where we are is just so um, you can't see. It's like we have to get on a mountain to see down, and we're like, oh, okay, we can't. We have a different vision, and that's a vision that we got to cast for ourselves so that we can see differently, so that we can see with new eyes and not just see the pain of what we're in or where we are, because that's how there is pain in growing. And even kids get growing pains because of growing is painful. And so whether it's going to the gym and getting muscles, and it takes pain and dedication and discipline to do that. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a healthier eating, whether it's, going to the gym, whether it's getting into church, if that's what it is for you, whatever it is, whether it's a business that you're deciding to put into the earth, whatever that is, there's going to be some discomfort and some pain because we got to grow to the person to handle the capacity of what we want, right? So, I just am reminded of one time. I don't like to really. I know that it brings tears to my eyes, and so I don't like to be sharing that much about it. But there was a time when I knew that the pain of leaving where we were was too great, and the cost was too much. And so for me, that was when it was a big pivotal moment for me when my son was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and I knew that we had to get into a healthy and healing place. That cost me a lot of things. It cost me living in the place I was used to living for 30 years. It cost me going to a new place where I didn't have friends, where I didn't know where we were going to live. It meant leaving our family behind. It meant leaving all these things behind, is just because his life was so important and so valuable to me. There was a time when I didn't know if he would actually make it or not. And I remember just having these talks with God and going, is he going to make it? It's not up to me, but whether he does or not, because each one of us has our own journey. And that's where expectations can come in, and where we could get angry and where we could get upset and just say, you know what, the cost of this is too great. Why did you let this happen? But I knew that all things work together for good. No matter what we're going through, we can grow through them and become better on the other side. And so that's what I believe for you, that whatever you're going through, whatever you let yourself grow through it, and let yourself remember that all things work together for good if we have the right mindset. We can get really bitter about it, but we don't want to stay there where we're going to be bitter. You want to let yourself grow so that you can become all that you're called to be, and you can have what God put into you, because he wants to fulfill it through you. That's why you have that vision. It's not so that you can't have it. It's because he wants you to have it. It's because it's on the inside of you, and he wants you to accomplish what you're created for, that he designed for you. And our pains and our hurts and the struggles of this world come in. The people come and tell us, who are you? Who do you think you are? And all those things. But that is just to discourage us. So it's so important to remember who you are, who God created you to be, that he put that on the inside of you. So if you love it like this, you can share it. I'm putting it, I think I've been trying for a while to put it on YouTube. I think it's working this time. So I'm going to check afterwards. I hope it did. But share and comment on it. And I look forward to connecting with y'all. I love y'all. Y'all are so important. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye for now.